Story time in 3, 2, 67, 45, 23. I'm kidding. 1. Bam! What's up, YouTube? Shawnee here. What? Here? Wait, what? I'm kidding. Kinda. You guys, how you doing? Do you see I always put the left ear up? There's a reason for that. How you doing? Liars! I heard you. Today's a story time video, and it's actually a pretty serious story time video that I thought to myself, you know what? You never know if anybody has certain disabilities or something's wrong, because it all depends how you handle it. And so I want to tell this story because maybe it'll help people who have disabilities or have things they feel stops them from being able to get what they want out of life or to do something, and this is that story. So I hope this inspires someone out there. So for some of you that don't know, I am over 50% deaf in my right ear. Yep. What? I'm kidding. No, I am. I'm over 50% deaf. And this just happened to me about 3 years, almost 4 years ago. The story goes like this. It was a pretty damn traumatic experience. But you know what? I feel like sometimes some of us need to go through traumatic experiences to appreciate the shit that we don't even know we should appreciate. It sucks that's the way life works, but everything's kind of a blessing in disguise. So it goes like this. If I do this here, you ready? Well, I can't hear you anyway, so I'll do it. So back in the day, I got a call. Bling, bling, bling. Hello? Yeah, actually, it was this ear I answered the phone. Hello? Yeah, yeah, done. Thanks, Denise. So Denise called me, Denise Fay, the director of Share, who I work with, my boss, and she said, Sean, there's this movie we're shooting. I'm one of the choreographers. It's called My Week with Marilyn. Michelle Williams was playing Marilyn Monroe, and she needed 2 guys. They booked another guy from New York. They booked me from Los Angeles. I had to fly to New York to rehearse for this film, fly to London to shoot it. It was awesome. And Michelle Williams killed it. Just killed it so much I actually felt like I was dancing for Marilyn Monroe back then. So I go to New York. I start rehearsing. I'm there with Kathleen Marshall, director and choreographer, and Denise Fay and another dancer. Me and him look pretty similar. And so there's an opening scene in the movie where the 2 of us are Marilyn Monroe's dance partners in the film. It was freaking amazing. The choreography was set back in like the 50s and the 60s, and it was dope. It was, you guys, I'm not wearing a hat. You know how weird it is to look at myself right now and to see, I can see my hair on my head. But you know what? I got this in case I can't handle it. So we start rehearsing in New York, and it's going good, everything's great. My parents live an hour and a half outside the city, so the days that we had time, I would go home, spend time with my family. So first time I went home to spend time with my family, it's hot outside, it's in the summer, my brother and sisters are in the pool, we're having fun, we're drinking, we're eating cheeseburgers. My family loves cheeseburgers. My mom's called the cheeseburger lady. So we're eating cheeseburgers, having a good time. I have my sisters on my shoulder, you know, I'm acting like a complete asshole. A fun one. And we're in the pool, we're wrestling, we're drinking, we're having a good time. So when I'm at my parents' house, they have a beautiful jacuzzi bathtub situation, and I don't have one of those. So when I go, I'm like, this is nice. I have some injuries, I'm gonna relax and chill out. Before I go to bed, I take a bath, I chill out. It's crazy, but I had the jacuzzi on in the tub, and I went under the water and I felt like I got some water in my ears, both of them. So I come up out of the water, I couldn't hear in either of my ears, so I like shake my head, I'm like hitting this, I'm like doing everything, I'm like literally like, you know, because I freaked out a little bit because I couldn't hear anything when I came out of the water. And so I'm doing this ear clears, and I'm doing this one, the right ear, I keep doing it, I'm like keep popping it, I'm like doing like suction cupping my ear with my hand to try to get all the water out, and it wouldn't come out. And I was like, God, this is really effing uncomfortable. Like I have water in my ear. And so I go to bed thinking to myself, I'll wake up, my ear will probably be dried, everything's good, you're fine. Sean, you're fine. I'm a big hypochondriac to worry about everything. I'm like, you're fine. I wake up, and literally I was like half my head You know, if you cover your ear like this and you talk, you can hear your voice in your head. But this is what it felt like. And so I woke up and I was like, Mom! Mom! My mom comes in the room. She's like, what? What is wrong? I'm like, I can't hear. I can't hear it out of my right side of my ear at all. Like at all. And if I covered the left, I couldn't hear shit. If my mom was, I couldn't. You know, I was testing and I was doing this. I went out. I was talking to my father. I was like, you know, something's messed up here. My mom's like, you probably have swimmer's ear, water in your ear. Chill out. You know, Sean, come on. You're a hypochondriac. Get over it. And I was like, no, Mom, this is serious. I can't hear. So my mom gives me my niece's eardrops for, you know, swimmer's ear. And so I had to go back to New York that day. So I get on, my parents drop me off at the train station. I go back to New York and I go to rehearsal, and with the choreographer telling me what to do, with the music playing, there's so much noise in the room. If the music was on, someone's trying to talk to me, I couldn't understand what they were saying to me because I couldn't hear anything out of the one side of my ear. So my one ear had to decide what I was hearing. It was so weird. And so Michelle Williams was yelling to me and I didn't turn around because I couldn't hear. It's so nuts. One ear dropped out and it changed everything. And so Michelle, she's like, Sean, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? And I said, Michelle, I lost my hearing this morning out of my ear, or last night. I thought it was in the morning I lost it. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, it's weird. So she's like, you know, I'm like, I'm taking medicine. So I was staying at one of my friend's house in New York. Next day I came back to rehearsal and the same thing. And Michelle's like, Sean, is your ear still effed up? And I was like, yeah, I still can't hear shit. You know, I can't. It hasn't gotten any better. So she's like, yo, this isn't good. You need to check this out. So Michelle gave me the name of her doctor in New York City. And so right after rehearsal that day, I go to the doctor. Here we go. I walk into the doctor's office. It was up on the Upper East Side. Real nice guy, whatever. Checks my ears out and goes, no, it's a 50% chance it won't come back. And I went, excuse me? What are you talking about? I got water in my ear. There's water in my ear. No, there's no water in your ear. Your ear's completely clear. Like it's completely bone dry in your ear. We looked at it and I went, what? Literally what? Because I couldn't hear. He's like, yeah, it's like 50%. You know, no compassion whatsoever. And I was like, I got really upset. I started crying. I was like, doctor, I'm a singer and I'm a professional dancer and I need my ears. The music doesn't sound the same. Everything sounds different. I said, I don't feel the same way when I'm listening to the music. And he's like, let me send you to this other person. So he prescribes me steroids to take to try to bring back the hearing in my ear. So I loads me up on steroids. And you know, this is the crazy part, y'all. So, you know, they say everybody has a good ear and a bad ear. My good ear is my right ear. It's the one I record with when I do music. It's the one I talk on the phone with the most. It's my loud ear. It's like the ear I can hear it the most. My left ear is my weaker ear. So I lost it in my good ear. So I'm like, you know, I was freaking out. I can't help it. I'm like, doctor just told me I might not get my hearing back. Why did this happen to me? Like, the water, was there something in the water? Like, and they're telling me there's no water in my ear? Like, what? This is effed up. So I go do a hearing test. I'm sitting there in the booth and I do this ear. He's like, raise your hand every time you hear something. So beep, I hear it. Beep, I hear it. Beep, I hear it. Then they put it on this ear. I'm sitting there for like 10 minutes. And the guy's sitting at their thing and I'm like, open the door. I'm like, yo, doctor, when are you gonna start the test? You know, he's like, Sean, I've been doing it for the past 10 minutes. You won't hear nothing? And I was like, oh my God, I lost it. I started crying. I said, no, I don't hear shit. Like, what? You started the test? There's no way. I would be able to hear something. And then he did this really loud one. He said it was the loudest frequency test. And I heard, like, I could hear, you know, I could hear the little bit squeak. And he's like, this isn't good. He's like, your nerve is almost dead. It's 99% dead in your ear. And I was like, how did this happen? I'm telling them the story and I just want an answer. I want to know why. I'm healthy. I'm a healthy person. I take care of myself. Like, why? And so I end up leaving there, call my mom. Of course, I call my parents. I'm crying my eyes out because I'm like, this is what they told me, you know? Like, it makes me a little upset now just because, God, it's such a shitty, you know, you never know. You never know, y'all. You just never know. And so I had to get on a flight the next day, and I was nervous about flying with my ear, so I am determined. When something's wrong with me, I'm determined to figure it out and fix it. Or if someone I love, if something's wrong, I'm determined to fix it. I need to fix it. I need things to be better. How can I do this? And so I didn't believe the doctors. I was like, F you all. I'm going to figure this out myself. You're not telling me something that I can figure out or something. So I go to the airport the next day. I'm sitting there. I'm calling specialists in Philadelphia, Los Angeles, here, there. I'm like, I need to see somebody else. So I call the specialist in Philadelphia. I'm on the phone. I look up. I have like 30 minutes before I have to board my flight. And I'm on the phone and I'm like talking to this doctor and this and this and that and this and that. Remember, I can't hear anything out of my right ear. So I'm on the phone the whole time. Then I look up. Oh my God, everybody's gone. Everybody's gone at my gate. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, I run up to the counter. I said, ma'am, what's going on? Where is everybody? All right, I need to put a hat on. I'm over this hair. So I'm like, what is going on? What the F is going on? Where's everybody? They're like, oh, we shut the doors. The plane's about to leave. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I said I couldn't hear anything. So I said I just became deaf in this ear. So I was like, so you guys, my camera died. So this is the next day later. Shit! I need to get an extra battery. I'm new at this shit. Anyway, continuing the story. Look, I don't even have the same bracelet on. I have a watch on now. Whatever. Can't find the freaking bracelet. Okay, so basically what happened was I go to get on the plane. I can't get on because they shut the doors, because I couldn't hear out of my ear. And I was telling the lady, I was like, yo, I said, please open the door. Please. I need to fly back to California. I need to figure out this whole ear situation. So the lady was like, all right, under the circumstances, we'll open the door. Ugh, thank you, Lord. So I get on the plane, okay? Get on the plane. You hear those damn chainsaws outside? There was some chainsaws the other day. Let me shut that fucking window. Complications. Bam. So I get on the plane. I'm still on the phone. Bad ear, good ear. I'm still on the phone. Now I'm on the phone with a doctor from Philadelphia. Yeah, what should I do? He's talking to me. I'm looking down. I'm sitting in my seat, and I look up, and this woman is staring at me, flight attendant, and she's looking at me going, I pull the phone away, she's going, get off the phone, get off the phone, get off the phone, why are you so rude, get off the phone. And I lost it. I started crying. I was like, ma'am, I just lost my hearing a few days ago. I could not hear you. I'm trying to figure this out. I apologize. I'm not a rude person. I could not hear you. I'm sorry I was on the phone. I can't hear shit. I was like, I lost my hearing, and I was crying, and it was a mess, and the woman felt bad, and she was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be, I didn't mean to be a bitch. And I was like, all good. So I'm sitting there, and the woman next to me is like, are you okay? And what do you mean you lost your hearing? And so then I go into story time, and because I talk to everybody because I have diarrhea of the mouth, and I tell them the whole story, whatever. So right when I get to Los Angeles, so I had 2 layovers, because it was the cheapest ticket at the time. So I had 2 layovers flying back to California. I'm thinking my ears, the pressure of the freaking cabin, and I was like, is this gonna F me up? So I made an appointment to go see an ear doctor right away when I landed. I had my car at the airport because I wasn't gone that long, so I parked at the airport. I get in my car. I head right to West Los Angeles to this ear doctor, and I looked better the other day than I do now. I look tired as shit. Anyway, so I go to this doctor, and it was the only person who made me understood what was going on. So basically, she said at the time of whatever, when I was in the bathtub or whatever, the nerve just cut out, died. She said many of us have viruses in our bodies that travel around, and 98% of the time our immune systems are so strong, the viruses don't attack anything, our bodies work overtime, they kill shit. Well, in this case, I was in that small percentage of shit that it attacked the nerve in my ear, and killed it. So she says, I'm gonna put you on prednisone, which is a steroid. I couldn't think of it the other day. I was so enjoying this story the other day. Whatever. So I said, yeah, they put me on prednisone in New York City, and I'm taking it a lot. And so she's like, you just have to wait it out. Maybe the steroid will reactivate the nerve and get your hearing back. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, what the hell? So I get in the car. It's like, I don't even want to listen to music because it feels weird. The whole time I'm talking, I can hear, if you close your ear like this, I could hear myself in my head. And I'm like, this is so freaking annoying. So I went home. I kind of hibernated myself away from the world. I was hoping every day when I woke up, my hearing would come back. Well, 3 days went by. Nothing changed. Nothing. So what did I do? I'm like, screw this. I can figure stuff out. I'll figure it out myself because these doctors ain't doing shit for me. So I get on the internet, I Google hearing loss, what do people do? Bang, 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 punch it in. Then this thing comes up and says, steroid shots in your ear. Meaning, they stick the needle through the eardrum into the nerve and put steroids in there. And I thought, why the hell wasn't I offered that? Why didn't any of these doctors tell me about this? I'm telling y'all, don't trust the system. You Google, you find shit out yourself because there is ways to cure stuff, ways to fix things, and they don't tell you. I promise you, it's fucked up. I don't like to curse, but it is messed up. So I contact this place downtown called House Ear. I call these people and I said, do you administrate this? Because the other lady that I called didn't. The one doctor when I flew in, the Asian lady, I said, why didn't you guys offer this? They're like, because it's not proven that it works, and it could be dangerous. And I said, I don't care about danger. I want my damn hearing back and I'll try anything. So I called the House Ear place. I went down there for an appointment. I was nervous as shit. I walked in, I did the hearing test again, 99% deaf in my right ear. I still couldn't hear things, kept raising my hand. With this ear, the bad ear, I was like, did you start the test yet? And it was horrible. So I went into the room. The lady sat me down. She goes, Sean, the numbing stuff hurts more than the needle going through the eardrum. And I said, all right, I was nervous as shit. I said, I'm a big baby, y'all. So whenever I get needles and stuff, I want a nurse to hold my hand and I want the other one to administrate the shit. Yep. So I sat down, I laid in this chair. She goes, we can put a video camera on the end of the needle so you can see exactly what's happening. I said, no. I don't want to see a needle going through my eardrum. I said, you can turn, thank you for offering that, but you can turn that damn TV off. So I end up laying down, one lady's in there and they put the numbing stuff on and I was like, shit. I was like, oh my God, this burns like a son of a bitch. And so I was like, okay. She said this was the most the pain. There's not gonna be much more pain after this. A liar. And I mean that. So she goes to put the needle in and it was like, it was like someone sticking a needle through your head into your brain, which is exactly what was happening. Not my brain, but my eardrum into the nerve. And I started tearing, couldn't help it. It was like, oh, the pain of the pressure of this thing going through my ear was like, what the hell is going on? Why am I dealing with this? So it goes in and she's squeezing the steroid in and I could feel the fluid going into the side of my head. And then it starts coming down. She said, it's gonna come down your throat and it's probably gonna drip into your throat or whatever. She's like, you gotta keep your head to the side the whole time so it really soaks into the nerve in your ear. It was insane. I called my mom after that. I was crying my eyes out again. I'm like, why? I can't believe I am dealing with this, but it made me like go, wow. I mean, people who lose their hearing or don't have hearing, God, it's like, we don't realize how amazing we have it until you go through shit. You don't realize it, it's only human. We don't realize it. And so I was like, this sucks. So anyway, went home. It was really weird. I had all this fluid and steroid shit in my ear. And I wake up the next day and I was like, holy shit, I can hear a little bit more. I could totally freaking hear. And I contact the doctor. I said, I want to do it again. And they go, Sean, we have to be careful because sometimes if the hole doesn't close up in your eardrum, you have to get it sewn shut. You know, it could tear. And I was like, I don't care. I'm starting to hear more. And so I want to do it again. So we waited 4 or 5 days. I went in and now I knew what the pain was going to be like. I was set up for it. I did it again. Didn't hurt as much as the first time, but did it again. Woke up next morning. Same thing. I could hear more. I was like, this is freaking crazy. It's completely working. I would go in for a hearing test. I was raising my hand more. I still was like 80% deaf, but I mean 85, almost 90, but I was coming back. So they told me the most someone's really ever done this stuff was like 5, 6 times. Shouldn't do it more than that. I did it 13 times. I didn't care. They said, Sean, you know, this is up to you, but you know, you're overdoing it. I said, I'm sorry. My hearing is coming back more. It is. Anyway, I did it. I did it. I did it. I looked crazy because steroids, like my shoulders were like it. You know, I looked hunched over a little bit. My face was swollen because steroids make everything swollen. I was breaking out all over my body and pimples from the steroids, but I was like, I don't give a shit if I have bad skin the rest of my life or whatever. I can hear. I can hear, and I'm not hearing my voice in my head as much. So it came back maybe, I haven't had a hearing test in a while, but I still can't talk on the phone on this ear because all I hear is, right, if you were to say, hey Sean, how you doing? It'd sound like this. Hi Sean, how you doing? So I have to like really pay attention. I can't really make out the words because I've lost all my low frequency. I do have the high frequency. If you probably talked in a chipmunk voice, I probably would understand what the hell you're saying. But yeah, it just made me go, but this is the crazy part, right? There's always a happy ending to that story, kinda. So I got my hearing back about, I think it's back like I got 40% of it back, so I'm still like 60% deaf in this ear, but it's still enough to where, yeah, I'm so used to it now, I probably can hear myself in my head a little bit, but it's night and day from how it was when I lost it. What am I doing? Am I being arrested? So it's better. Thank you, Lord, that it came back that much. So this is the crazy part, right? I sing, I dance, a little bit. When I record music now, it's like I have a built-in monitor in my head. Because it's just enough to where I can hear if I'm on key, which is nuts. And I actually record music better than I ever have since this happened, because I can hear my pitch better, and I can hear if I'm off or if I'm on. It's crazy. Even singing live, like it's better. And the only thing that sucks is when I go to the movies and if someone's sitting on the right of me and they go in my ear and they're like, hey, I have to go like this. And then the people behind me are always like this. What the hell are you looking at? And I'm like, I'm deaf. I only can hear out of this ear. So that comes along with this. And then if I go out and I go, you know, clubs with friends, and right when people try to tell me something in my ear and the music's really loud and there's a lot of conversation, I can't make out anything of what they're saying. So I always have to turn. Some people don't know me. They always go, they get like weirded out when I do that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you in this ear. You know, stupid stuff like that. But, you know, and if I'm in a room and there's a lot of people talking, you know, and if someone's trying to talk to me from this side, I sometimes can't understand what the hell they're saying. But the good part is when I go to sleep at night, if I lay down on the good side of my ear, I really can't hear anything else going on, so I sleep pretty good. Other than that, it's like, you know what? We need to value shit. You know, you never know what could happen. And it's like, I never knew how much I really valued everything I hear until I got half of it taken away from me. So strange. So the whole point of this video is, you know, if some of you out there feel like you have a certain disability or certain thing that's happened to you, I mean, I still have one good ear, thank God. But if you have something, it's like there's always ways around it, or ways to finding the good in it. And it's hell. It's hell, and you don't see it when shit happens until after the fact or later on or whatever. It is what it is. We just have to value everything we have, because you never know if you're ever gonna lose it. And you always, what happens? You always value the shit you lose. You know what I mean? We're human. That's what we do. Anyway, thank God, Michelle Williams. Thank you, Michelle, for giving me your doctor and helping me figure this out right away. You know, she was so sweet. She sent me right to her people and was like, Sean, get checked out. And I did. And then about a month later, we flew to London and shot the movie, and it was amazing. I'm gonna put the link down below because this is the time when I went partially deaf in my right ear, and it's cool. I'm really proud of being in that movie, and yeah, it was a good time. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. No matter how dark the tunnel gets, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Promise. Swear to God. Anyway, you guys, so thanks for watching. I hope this story's inspired one of you, some of you, all of you. So, seriously, have a good day. And thanks for watching. What do we say? What do we say? Bam! Thanks, y'all.